Should be turning on right now. Yep, there we go. Yes, we're live. Just let me test my audio for a second. Should be turning on right now. Just checking the audio levels. Yep, there we go. Yeah, let me just change a few things. Can some of you say something?
Test.
Hello.
Test.
Should be turning on right now. Just waiting for the feedback. Just checking the audio levels. Yep, there we go. Yeah, let me just... can some of you say something?
Test.
Hello.
Yep, great, that sounds great. I might have created a feedback loop, but we'll see how that goes. Warn me if that's the case.
Yep.
Anyway, well, welcome everyone to our first AMA. I will be the host. My name is BobMike. My role name is Pim. We will start with an introductory round, and then we will continue with the programming. So, as I said, my name is Pim Hackert. I am a 21-year-old web developer, and I am one of the founders of Forest Financial, my alias being BobMikes. I have my Dutch passport right here, which I'm going to open and show you my picture and identification. If it's unclear, I will be sending a picture of this after the AMA has finished. I am one of the creating founders of Forest Financial. We exist for, I'd say, just over a month now. And we've been working on this together for quite a few months now. I would like to hand the mic over to Alexander, one of the co-founders.
Hello guys, I am Alexander, one of the co-founders. I'm mainly the developer of the group. I write in Solidity and I do the front end of the app. Yeah, that's me. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm very happy to be here. I do like to give the mic to Dave Ringo.
Hello everyone, I'm Dave Ringo, also one of the founders of Forest Financial. I'm also Dutch. I'll be in charge of making good contacts with charities and also a developer, so I could do stuff as well for the website and other stuff than that. And yeah, I'm a 28-year-old web developer. Right, I would want to give the mic to Fraxinus.
Hey, hi guys, I'm Fraxinus in the Discord, but you can call me Frax. I joined the project a month ago as an advisor, mainly helping with the tokenomics, treasury, often strategy as well. I applied to join the team as I saw Dutch team focus on sustainability, and being Dutch myself, sharing those views, I offer to help with my experience in having an own business in data science and AI. Helping with the Monte Carlo simulations and mathematics, among others, to determine the tokenomics. Sometimes you can find me helping to moderate as well, as I'm trying to connect with the community, and I look forward to keep building. I'm 35, and like I said, also from the Netherlands. Ellie, floor is yours.
Thank you, Frax. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. My name is Cali. I'm also 35. I'm also from the Netherlands, like the biggest part of the team. I am the lead in marketing. I just joined last week, and I'm really excited to be a part of the team. I will be responsible for partner marketing, for more exposure, to make sure that you guys will profit from the whole project, and we are really excited to do that together with you, with the community. Also help a little bit with the business development, and yeah, really excited. So I will give the word back to Bob again.
First, we gotta let Glen talk about what he does here
Oh,
at
yeah.
Force Financial.
Go ahead.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Glen. I do all the art and design work for the team. I joined the team about a month ago. I'm still a student at school, and all my designs and art are inspired by Kurzgesagt style. And you can find more of my artwork on my Instagram. That's pretty much me.
Great. Now that that's done, let's start with the programming of today's live stream. So first, I'd like to talk about a special announcement, a collaboration, and after that, we will start with the AMA. First, we will look at some of the most asked questions. We have a list of them. Then we will have a look at the AMA questions and the ideas suggestions channel in our Discord server. And after that, we will answer any questions in the YouTube chat. So without further ado, I'd like to announce a new collaboration between Force Financial and the Decentralized Foundation. The Decentralized Foundation is owned by Dazai Crypto, a person on Twitter who does carry his weight. We spoke quite a while for a while now, and we decided to bundle our powers together. So what Decentralized Finance does is they are also a nodes as a service protocol, and they focus on donating money to social causes such as world hunger and refugee crises. We spoke and we decided to create a new entity. The name of this entity is still being decided, but it will be I forgot the English name. Can some of you help me out? It's a Kermark.
Mark.
Hallmark, yes, a hallmark for donating projects that donate. So if a project wants to join this group, as we will call it, they will have to donate X amount of their money, of their profits every month to charity. This ensures that we create a more mature and professional environment within DeFi, as we give back to the world. We close the gap between DeFi or crypto and the real world by donating to charities, which gives DeFi in general a better look for the real world, and provides marketing and other purposes for the projects within the group itself. A lot is still unknown about this collaboration, but we will come back to you soon about this, and we have a lot planned, so please stay tuned about that. Now, without further ado, we'll begin with the AMA. I have a couple of questions here that I will ask. So someone mentioned that the Tornado Cash we are going to use is not safe, or is not is synonymous with projects that rug or projects that fail. We do agree with that, and for that reason we want to look at other options as well. What those options are, I cannot tell yet, but we will decide that before we send any money to any different wallet other than the wallets within Forest Financial. So we will do our research, and we will let the community know, and have the community decide with us what we will do. Some of you are asking about the pre-sale and launch date, and while we would love to give you a precise number, that is something unfortunately we cannot do. I can say that we are currently focusing on the NFT sale, as we want to get that finished and over with. So any of you guys looking, if you are, seeking to get another NFT, this would be a great time. I can say that the development of the contracts of the pre-sale is almost finished. We are still finalizing a few things, we're testing, and we're doing a lot of work on that. But other than that, the main thing we need to be doing right now is marketing. We have noticed that we can improve on that in that area. So we will come up with a solid marketing plan to increase our outreach and get more members within the Discord and Twitter. Another question asked often is, are there are there pre-sale rounds? Because our white paper talks about them, but then some of the information we give is conflicting with that. I'd like to clarify that there will be no different rounds. The whitelisted pre-sale and the public pre-sale will happen in one together. The duration of this will be probably around 3 days. We cannot be too sure about this yet, but we will announce this at a later stage. And there has been questions about the number of yield trees you can get from the NFT from the pre-sale, because it is possible for anyone to get 1 yield tree from the public pre-sale, and it is possible for anyone to get 10 yield trees from the whitelisted pre-sale, given they have enough NFTs. Some of you asked, hey, can we have 11 yield trees? And because you have then the two pre-sales combined, and unfortunately this is not the case. There's a hard cap of 10 yield trees per wallet, no matter what combination of NFTs or different stages or different categories of pre-sale. As for the launch date, we also have no date for this exactly. We have a very close indication, but it would be very unfortunate for us if we gave you a date that is totally not accurate, and we would have to delay again. Okay, that's some introductory questions. Let's go to the AMA questions channel and pick a few questions from the people. So let's check this out. Right, so here's a good question from Alex. How are you planning on keeping the price of Forest up? It is impossible for enough new investors to flow in to fill the reward pool forever. Will there be buybacks for the above? And the last question I will answer after this, but I would like Fraxinus to talk a bit about the price action of Forest token and the buybacks.
Thanks, Bob. I need to get used to call you by your real name, but so used to calling you Bob. So 2 questions, right? So one of them is, how are you planning to keep the price of the Forest token up? And the other one is, will there be buybacks to support this? So I think the first question is, of course, we want to keep as many Forest tokens in our protocol by encouraging people to not sell their tokens. Implementing a sale and claim tax will definitely help with this. But also we're looking at providing utility for the token. And by adding that utility, we want to make sure that the demand is always high. And of course, our treasury and the returns of that treasury will be used to do buybacks on the token as well.
Great. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. The The first one, you've also mentioned multiple times that you plan on to bring people in outside of the DeFi space to invest. That's a good question. Yes, we are indeed planning on doing that. We have projects lined up that will interest people from traditional markets, such as the stock trading market and the forex market, to transition to crypto. And we would like to channel that through Forest Financial. So let's say we do something to interest people into crypto. We do not want the investors to go straight to crypto. We would like them to go through a platform in the middle, being us, and then they can either choose to invest in Forest Financial, and we have many different ways to then tell them how good of an investment it is. We can visualize their return on investment, how big of a community we have, the entire node system, how that works, yield trees. And if they then still choose to move towards crypto, then they can always move from our platform on. But then they have a good, solid, safe baseline of what to expect in crypto and DeFi, and what to look for in such a space. So to summarize, our goal is to launch projects that lure people to crypto and lure them to DeFi and First Financial in particular. Exactly what we will do, I cannot say yet, but it is a very interesting ideas, and it will, in collaboration with the digital world we are creating, which will be visualized, it will provide a lot of opportunity for people to join, and the barrier to entry will be far lower than it is right now. That's what we are trying to achieve. Right, so I'll move on to another question. Let's check. Yeah, so for those of you asking about our doxing, well, we're doing it right now. And as for Alexander and Dave Ringo, they will dox themselves when they think it's appropriate. Would either of you like to say something about that, Alex or Dave Ringo?
Yeah, sure. For me personally, I don't think it's the right moment for me to dox myself yet, but I'm certainly planning to do it. So it will for sure happen. When, I don't know yet, but we will for sure keep you posted on that.
Basically the same answer as Alex. It's just not the right time yet. Got a lot to prepare when once I decide to dox myself. But I will definitely do it because it will be needed when we get into contact with charities, etc. So yeah, definitely, but now's not the time.
Great, thank you. Let's check some other channels to be sure. Oh, that's a nice Pepe. We'll switch to the idea suggestion channel. There aren't a lot of questions in here. Yes, has the team thought about combining pre-sale and public sale yet? NFTs are left. It doesn't seem like a reason to separate whitelist and regular pre-sale. Plus plenty available on secondary markets. Anyone who really wants whitelist can buy them. That's true. And we incentivize people to use the NFTs as an investment. But we think that the NFTs will be sold out pretty soon, especially after we push the collaboration with the decentralized foundation more. And yeah, well, we believe that it's the best choice to separate the whitelist and the regular pre-sale. Not combine them into one, because we want early investors to feel good about giving money to us by buying NFTs, and obviously we want to include the general market as well, So that is why we are allowing one yield tree in the public pre-sale. How it will work actually is people will go on the pre-sale website, and based on the contents of their wallet, they are shown how many yield trees they can buy, whether that be 1 or 2, 5, 10, whatever. Yeah, so I'll do some other questions actually, because I can see that we're running out of a few. Yes, Alexander, could you maybe tell us a bit about what we plan to do for our contract audits, and if we've already chosen a specific company to work with them?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so from now on, all our contracts will be audited. And we have been looking into some companies to do it with. The main one we are looking at now is Hacken. Mainly because it's affordable, and we do for sure plan to do it with bigger companies, for Certic, for example. But yeah, as of now, Certic is mainly out of our reach in terms of money. But at a later stage, we will for sure use Certic to do our audits. That's pretty much it.
Okay, great. And would you like to tell us more about how the development team looks, and if we are looking to expand it at all?
Yeah, so for now, I am the main Solidity coder developer, and you and Dave Ringo also help me on the front end of the app. But we are certainly looking for extra developers, backend developers, so mainly Solidity, in the future, so we can expand our team and yeah, create great products for our customers, investors.
Okay, great. And let's move to marketing a bit more, because you know, we've heard a lot that our marketing needs a boost. Cali, could you give us a brief overview of what some of the things we are planning to do to increase our outreach to DeFi?
Yeah, sure. I will start with an introduction and give some background information. As you may have seen in today's announcement, or heard from Bob, we are currently focused on updating our white paper and strengthening the fundamentals, because we believe that we'll make a better impression with investors and partners by having a strong foundation. This is the base, in my opinion. So yeah, we believe it's important to point out a few keywords for forest, which are sustainability, reforestation, transparency, and generally what Bob also mentioned is giving back to the world. So we want to achieve all this by actually getting things done. So not only by saying those things, but like reaching out, having partnerships with a project with the same ideology, and we want to build our brand built on those fundamentals. So it should be really clear what Forest stands for in the DAO space. This is what we believe, and the partnership which was announced with crypto DAI is, I think this is a really good start. And we want to distinguish ourselves as well from other projects, because we believe that a lot of projects are directed in the same direction, and we want to do something different. At the same time, we are, of course, business-minded, and we are going to ensure sustainable rewards for our investors by being smart and innovative. So we are not only focused on charity, we also create value, of course, for investors. Short term, marketing-wise, we will focus on the NFT sale, and this will be one of the main goals. And when it comes to more exposure, we are already in touch with partners, and we will continue to reach out players from DeFi for more exposure. We're also noticing that YouTubers and influencers are reaching out to us much more. So we're definitely attracting more people at this stage. And yeah, we want to and at this stage we are like really getting our ideas even more like on paper, and this is why we are now focused on the white paper and the Medium articles that will be published shortly. So you will see much more details in that, and we're also going to use our socials more and involve the community more as well. And we have loads of ideas, and you'll hear more from us soon. So I would say stay tuned.
Yeah, great, thank you. So I'd like to switch back a bit to the Discord because I've seen that we are missing a couple of questions. First of all, I have one for Fraxinus. Can you explain the reasoning or the math behind coming up with the $75 public launch price versus maybe doing that at 50 or 200? Can you tell us a bit about why we chose that number?
Yes. So we've ran multiple simulations, seeing how we can make the protocol as sustainable as possible, while also keeping in mind that we have early investors which are believing in us right now, which we also want to reward for their entry, while also looking at a sustainable token price, which we want to maintain. We saw this as our ideal starting token price.
Yep, great, thank you. There will be some Medium articles coming out soon that explain more in detail about why we decide to do certain things. This will be before the pre-sale, so if you haven't invested anything yet into Forest Financial, that will be a good indication of whether you should or not invest in us. So we hope to improve your trust with us. Let's see. Question here. What kind of behavior are you trying to incentivize, and what kind of behavior are you trying to disincentivize with your tokenomics? For example, compounding versus withdrawing. I'll move that back to Fraxinus. Can you tell us a bit about, are we incentivizing people to sell or to compound, or what would you say is the best option?
I think when we were looking at our tokenomics, I think one of the challenges, or let's say ambitions we had, was to create a sustainable protocol. We've been repeating this word quite a lot, but in our sense, that means that we want to maintain the rewards which we have set, and I think by setting the rewards as we currently do, in combination with the taxes we have set, and also the long-term utility we see for the token, and I think in the near future we can share quite some more information on that. We are confident that we can keep providing that sustainability. And I think it's really up to the investors to decide how they want to cope with their rewards, whether they want to compound or sell. There are taxes in place, of course, where no tax is currently set for the compounding, and there is for the claiming and selling. So yeah, this is the current system we have in place. I do have to say that everything we do and every decision we make in this regard is focused on the sustainability of the protocol. And we are currently monitoring everything that's going on in the space in terms of sustainability. And every decision in this regard will also be shared with the community, of course.
Great, thank you. And then there's another question. What motivates you as individuals and as a team? You are all so calm and well measured. Thank you, Horsey. When things get challenging, and there will be days, what will keep you going? I think that's a really good question, because you can tell with certain projects in the past that as things get out of control, because that does happen, the team panics and they do irrational things, unfortunately. And we want to prevent that as much as possible. So in our case, let's say something bad happens, which I really hope it doesn't. We are going to stay calm and collected, and the team will meet together and see what we can do to remedy the issues. I place great trust in our team currently, because we have quite a few experts in here who can help us to decide the best course of action. As the time goes on, we will have even more experts who have dealt with these types of issues before and can tell us what to do. Our outcome, however, is always to benefit the investor. So even in the worst case scenario, we will do our best to provide the investor with as much ROI as possible. If there is something bad, we will take care of them, and we will make sure that the team, gets paid last in a way. So that maybe answered your question.
And if I can add, Bob, to what I just said, I said we didn't have a compound text, but we added this in the revision, so it's good to rectify that. And we of course have the decay in place, where the return of tokens is based on an initial higher ROI. And then after that, there's a decay in rewards when it will be reduced to a base ROI of 0.04 forest a day.
Yeah, you're right. Correct. Okay, so there are a lot of questions about us considering to join the UOT, called the Union of Transparency. We have reached out to them, and hopefully we can arrange something with them, because we would like to join them, and we want to be as transparent as possible to our community. So hopefully we can be part of the UOT. As for another project that we are in the works of talking to, is the Obsidian Council, created by the YouTuber Jesse Eckel. He has about, I believe, 150,000 subscribers at the moment, and he tests out all different kinds of node projects and projects that give high ROI. So as we keep talking with them with these two projects, we hope to give more information. There's a YouTuber question, a YouTube member question. Are there any other big influencers you plan on working with besides Desai? Yes, we are. Unfortunately, we cannot say anything about that right now. That would ruin a few good surprises. Yes, and there's another good question right here. Many project launches lately have been completely botched and massively botted. The projects, no matter how good, have never recovered after. Do you have plans on how to deal with the launch and bots? Sure, we definitely do. I believe we can all name a few projects that have launched with a, let's say maybe $10 as the initial price, and it goes up to 100, maybe 200, and then it drops back down to 50 or 20 or 10. That's usually because of bot sniping. What happens is that the contract is inputted into a bot, and it keeps buying. It buys the token, causing the price to go way higher. And when the price is at a really high point, and people are still buying in because they think that price can go to 10,000 or 100,000. That's when the bots sell, and the price goes back down. And in most cases, the bots end up with 1,000% profit. Now, things like this is something that we really want to prevent, and we are actively researching measures on doing things to prevent this. You could take, for example, a cooldown on selling the token, or maybe we only allow X amount of tokens to be bought at a certain time, because our goal for Forest as a token is for it to be relatively stable. Of course, it can have its dips, its ups, its downs, but it can never dump, or it should never dump, and it should never pump. You have to be confident, or you will be confident, that the price of Forest will stay at a relatively normal level, and that it won't deviate too much. So that's one of our goals, and that is what we will be fighting in the public launch. Okay, I think that's a few of it. I think we will be moving towards the YouTube stream now. If you do have any other questions, people, please ask them in the YouTube, or like tell us to look in the AMA questions channel, because we will. So yeah, from Zach here, rough timeline for pre-sales within the next month. I don't know if we can talk too much about that, but you can expect news from us very soon about this. As of next week, we will give you much more information. Okay. Are any of the staff members wanting to talk about certain questions, or want to bring up certain subjects in this AMA? Alexander, maybe?
Yeah, so one question we've gotten is, are there any plans for future NFT generations? Yeah, there are. Two of them have already been announced. One of them is the Forester NFT. The Forester NFT is like the worker that belongs to a yield tree. It can slightly boost your rewards on it. They will level up with the time. And one of them is the Forester HQ NFT. Basically, the Forester HQ contains all your yield trees. So these two are the ones that have been announced so far. More will be coming, but we cannot say anything about that yet. Let's take a look if there are more. Yeah, so another question was if the remaining NFTs will be burned. Yeah, as explained earlier, we will focus on selling them, as our NFTs are a pretty big part of our protocol. Now, will be a pretty big part. We will not be burning them. So the sale remains open until they are sold out.
Great. Maybe there's another good question in here. Let me just take a quick look.
So one question, Bob. It says,
Sure.
it's asked, what motivates you as an individual and as a team? You're also calm and well measured, which is a compliment. When things get challenging, and there will be days which are challenging, what will keep you going?
Yeah, so I already in part answered this question a few minutes ago. What will keep us going is the trust of our community in us. I believe that our community is a very strong one. If you look at other projects compared to us, we do not have the same types of people, or we do not have the same behavior within our community. It is very professional. People like to have good talks with us. They seem to trust us a lot more than some of the other projects. And I believe that, let's say something does go wrong, that our community will be there to support us, and they have full trust in our capabilities to remedy the issue. Any issues that we already have or that we encounter during the development or the course of Forest, we will fix. I have no doubt about that. So in short terms, our community will help us get through it, and obviously the team members will be there for each other.
Can I pick up one question from the YouTube chat?
Sure.
Yeah, what made us think to name this project Forest? Yeah, so our initial idea was to create a node project. Obviously, we are not going to run actual nodes, but yeah, it's basically the standard these days that projects call themselves node. 4 nodes, for example. I think at the start they didn't actually run nodes. But yeah, to call it Forest, our idea was basically, yeah, you would be buying yield trees, and together they form a forest. So that's basically where the name Forest came from. And another one, are there plans to hold periodic AMAs till project launch? We haven't decided on that yet, but we were talking about it for sure. So more news about it soon.
Yep, great. Let's move on to maybe the charity side of things. That's more the expertise of Dave Ringo. Could you tell us a bit about how how are we going to donate money to the charities? What part of our tokenomics reflects that, and how can the investors be sure that the money that we get is automatically sent to or automatically put in a big jar for the charities?
Sure, I can. Well, the charity fund is eventually a new type of wallet we will set up, and the fees we will collect for sustaining yield trees, part of that will go automatically to that wallet. Eventually, when the time comes, when we do like buybacks or other ways to supply our treasury, we will increase that wallet even further. Once we make good contacts with charities, we will eventually come in contact with them and make donations.
So if I could add something to that, we have seen some concerns that, of course, some charities do not, for example, we will want to make sure that a charity will make sure that all the money goes to the planting of the trees. So we are actively researching charities that can promise us and show us that they will actually plant the trees and the money is not going elsewhere. So that takes some time, but I'm sure we will come with a few very good options and very good charities that will offer this to us. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great. And we are planning to do a lot of fun things with different charities. I can't say too much, but think of investors within our projects seeing real world changes or real world versions of their investments to give a little boost for your morale and to make you feel connected to the actual donations that we do, because there are plenty of projects that donate, but our goal and the goal of our collaboration with the Decentralized Foundation is for the investors of projects that are within the group to see what their investment does, to notice that, hey, I basically donated $10 now, or 20 or 30, and that resulted in the planting of this tree, or that resulted in paying for these seeds to be bought. And we hope to visualize that for you as well. Fraxinus, could you tell us about what sets Forest apart from all the regular node projects that never recover from them falling after their all-time high?
Yep. So, assuming that we reach an all-time high and then fall, I think we've said a few things which we'll do in regards to the token, which is of course creating utility for the token. We have a lot of things planned in this regard, along with our other strategies. We want to make sure that there's also or always enough demand for the native token. And the goal with that is to have the token price as stable as possible.
Yep, great, thank you. Glen, could you tell us a bit about the art that you've been creating for Forest Financial and how you hope to keep working with us for the long-term foreseeable future, and maybe some of the ideas like we could do themed events like Christmas or Easter. How would you help us with that?
So in terms of helping out, I guess I would make illustrations based on those events and how to really get the audience engaging with that art and have real meaning to it, because most crypto art, they're just plain bland. We want to create unique style, want to make it different. Yeah, that's why
great.
I did it.
And would you say that the art you create can bring a big impact into DeFi? Like, do you think it sets us apart from other projects?
It definitely does, because if you think about Kurzgesagt, their channel, they're really popular because their style is different compared to other informational graphical YouTube channels. So having this style, I think it will definitely get us more popular.
Yeah, great, thank you. I'd like to add a note to that. Together with our external design team and with Cali and Glen, we will be creating a special branding for Forest Financial. The goal is to build a brand not only in digital world but also in merch. We plan to eventually create some merch for Forest Financial and share real world products. So stay tuned for that as well, I'd say. That's a good question just now in the YouTube chat. Is there a minimum cap on the number of NFTs that have to be sold to continue with project development? Or will project development go ahead without that? So our NFT sale will not end until all NFTs have been sold. So that we expect that to be done within a few weeks. Saying that, we would never stop development if the NFT sale isn't met, the goals aren't met, because that's just an issue on our part, a fault of us, and that doesn't mean that we have to stop working. Force Financial isn't just for us about the money; it's also about the passion. I hope to have children within 10 years, 5 to 10 years, and I do not want them to grow up in a world that's polluted and damaged by all these big environmental polluters. So if we can even cause a little bit of climate change reversal, or make sure that we have an impact, then that is enough for me. And I am happy to say that I have a great team working with me. We have a great team, and we all have personal goals to make Force Financial a success. So another question: have you been working or talking with cryptonaires? So they have mentioned us before, and we have talked with them. There aren't concrete plans with them yet, but we would like to do an AMA with them sometime in the near future. We know the effectiveness of their AMAs. They know the right questions to ask. They are very experienced with drilling through some of the more painful points of tokenomics. So we would like to have a chat with them after we make sure that all our tokenomics are in the right condition, and that we can be absolutely confident in that we will pass that AMA with flying colors. There's a question here. Can you share the experience of the developers? So I can say for myself that I've been working with web development for 3 to 4 years now. I have extensive knowledge in backend technologies such as PHP, and I started working with Solidity about a year ago now. It's a very interesting language, and the aspects of blockchain and Solidity intrigue me very much. As for the experience of Alexander, I'd like him to give more insight into that.
Yeah, so I also have 3 to 4 years experience in backend developing and front-end developing. And I also started on Solidity about a year ago, and I always found it a very interesting language, and I've been studying a lot up to the point that we are at now. I think I have a very solid basis of knowledge in it, and I can use my knowledge to provide great contracts. We are planning to extend the team, as said earlier, so we will have more input on that, and we, as said as well, we will be doing audits for future contracts. So we have a third party that confirms the validity of the contract, so everything is okay with that.
And Dave Ringo?
Well, as far as my experience, I could say that I have like 8 years of development experience by now in back end, front end, and front and back. Also a little bit in app, and well, initially I started with C#, so also with desktop applications. In front of Solidity, I haven't got that much experience yet with Solidity, but that's mainly the focus of Alexander and, well, Bob. In that case, I am more of making sure that front-end applications or back-end applications work perfectly well. Also, I've set it up in experience-wise, I've set it up my own server at home, automating my processes at that case. So as far as experience go, I can find myself around any type of application or code, pretty much. Yeah.
Great, and we will be sure to give more information regarding this in a future Medium article to come. So there's a very good question in here about basically asking us, hey, you are a relatively young team. What kind of project management service experience do you have outside of Frax with his own business? That's a very good question. Obviously, we have the guidance of Cali and Frax, who are older than us, to help us with certain things. But I used to be a avid Minecrafter up to a year ago, and I used to run a small amount of quality, rather good quality Minecraft servers. And while that doesn't say a lot in terms of project management, there are things to be said about that. We had quite a few people on, and I gained a lot of experience with project management for that. We are intending to get a experienced project manager in the team to help us visualize the goals we need to go to and make sure that our processes are streamlined. So we will not be doing it all by ourselves. And then another one. Let's check. Yes, that's a very good question I actually saw. Can we have developers and teams getting paid for yield trees rather than stablecoins? To advantage of no need of multi-signature wallets and reducing the selling pressure. So, well, we always need multi-signature wallets. That's just going to stay. We do not want to get rid of that because that is a foundation of trust. And we agree that, you know, taking stablecoins or any coins from our treasury to pay the team is a bad move because that reduces or that creates selling pressure. So our plans are to pay our team in Forest, with a small part being stablecoins, and we also want to incentivize our team by giving them maybe a few NFTs whenever we generate them, or granting them a yield tree, or basically anything we need to make sure that we limit sell pressure as much as possible. But in the end, we do have to pay our team, and we want to be able to afford our team a good wage. So there will be a little bit of selling pressure for that, so I apologize in advance. Yeah, we are going to wrap it up soon, but let me just see. Do we have any other questions the team would like to answer before we do the last few ones?
I think someone in the general chat was asking if you're also wearing shorts or just regular pants.
Okay, so I have regular pants, but they are not the right pants for this. I did have a suit. I have these shorts, but they shrunk in the wash, and this jacket, this blazer, it actually broke, so I couldn't wear it, unfortunately. But I'll make sure that in the next meeting I am fully kitted up with a suit like this. But yes, I am wearing pants.
Pretty good.
Let's see. Any other questions in the general or AMA? I am just taking a look. Okay, not really. Let me just check the YouTube again. And no, not there either. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the future and the vision of First Financial before we close off this AMA. At what point in time would you be satisfied and proud with what you have achieved with the First Financial protocol? So when we are able to prove to the DeFi community that a nodes as a service protocol or any DeFi protocol can work with consistent rewards and high sustainability, and we have contributed enough to charity to make a difference, then I see Forest Financial being a success. As for how long Forest Financial will exist, we hope to be sustainable for at least 3 to 5 years. There is always going to be an end to a node project. That's, unless you stop the noding process. But we are confident in that we can make this project sustainable for the next 3 to 5 years at least. And by then we will have other ways to provide returns for our investors. As for like a couple of short-term goals, we want to make sure that our NFTs are sold, and we want to have a seamless and efficient pre-sale for our community, and obviously expand our marketing to gain more outreach in the community of DeFi. Let me just take one more look. No, that's it. All right. Does anyone of the staff team have any last words to add before we close off this AMA?
I think I would like to add something because someone asked us about what is driving us, motivating us. I think I've been in the crypto space for more than 5 years now. I have seen a lot, like scams, rugs, lies, and of course also some nice things. I'm kind of addicted to crypto since I got in, and as a marketing consultant, it's a no-brainer to combine these two things for me, and especially with a project and with a team that wants to be transparent and want to do good in this space. So really proud to have joined this team, and thanks everyone for joining us, and we hope to achieve great things because without the community we cannot do all those things. So you will be hearing from us.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We've seen some pretty bad rugs going on in the past few weeks, and we are very saddened by that. That's ruining the reputation of DeFi, and we want to do our best to lift that back up to a good level. We hope to make DeFi a safe and mature place. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching the AMA. Thank you for joining. This is our first one, so things didn't go extremely seamless. But the next time we will be more prepared. We will have better questions as well, and hopefully the next time will be with a project such as Cryptonaires. All right. Thank you very much, and we hope you have a good day.